What's up, gang? Case here with our CrossFit strength work for Friday, July 30th. Hinge focus day, 3x6 deadlift, and then 3 sets of a core complex. We're taking out the arch ups that we did last week, and we're putting in a core complex to help activate glutes, midline, hamstrings, so that you can better use those for these heavy deadlifts. You'll actually start off with that complex. It's going to be 12 weighted dead bugs into 12 glute bridge marches. So on that weighted dead bug, moderately heavy weight pressed over the sternum. We want to make sure that we're staying active. So shoulders are actually pulled up off the ground because we're pressing through this object. This is going to help us brace through our middle. From there, heels and knees in line, pressing that low back into the ground, and then keeping that brace position. Extend one leg, pause the top for a moment, extend the other leg, trying to keep that midline tight, staying pressed through that bell, keeping that low back on the ground, moving nice and slow on those. After that, we'll go into those glute bridge marches. Palms face the ceiling, drive the hips up. And then once we get here, we want to try to think about having a tight belly and a neutral spine. So straight line from our knee all the way down to our shoulder. And then the challenge here is keeping all of this right in the same spot as we lift up one leg. It's going to put the demand on that base leg, hip, glute, lower midline. And then we'll switch on these, same thing, moving slow and controlled, trying not to have any deviation through the spine or through the hips while we move, keeping that belly tight throughout. Rest about a minute after your core complex, and then we'll step into our deadlifts for today. So we've got 3x6. As we're working through these heavier max strength sets, give yourself plenty of warm-up reps. So 3 to 5 sets of 4 to 5 reps for those warm-up sets today. You're going to need more if you're planning on going heavier. So get plenty of warm-up in. Technique reminders on our deadlift today. Hip width stance, toes straight forward, and I want to talk about bracing and foot position. So most of us have a slightly rounded posture. So once we're standing tall, before we go, we want to think about standing tall through the top of the head, but not arching out our back. So keep ribs down, head tall, and then we actually want to bring that chin back a little bit to get us in that straight board position. Keeping all that braced as we hinge back, weight is distributed in the heel, but we're still keeping full contact with that foot. So even though most of it's towards the heel, you can still feel some pressure under the ball of your foot and right there behind the pinky toe. As we set up, getting the center of the shoulder right over the bar, keeping that stiff board position that we established at the top, also keeping those arms long with shoulders pinned back. Stand tall on these today. We shouldn't have to rest at the top or on the ground once we start our sets. Controlled on the way down, a little faster on the way up. Bar should slide up and down the thigh. It doesn't have to rake the shin, but it shouldn't get more than a centimeter away from that shin. 3 sets of our core complex, 3 sets of 6 on our deadlift today. Leave a couple reps in the tank. We're still very early on in this cycle. We're just acclimating ourselves to slightly heavier loads each week. We'll be doing 4 sets of 5 next week, so a little bit higher total volume. Plus, we want to try to move up 10 to 20 pounds on that deadlift next week. So leave some in the tank. Make sure you're keeping good technique, protecting your back on that movement. Good luck on today's strength work, and we'll see you back soon for our Metcon.